Hello, everyone. Welcome to the We Are the Joneses after show. Where are they now? We're sorry for the delay. I know I had you guys waiting out there, but, technical difficulties. But we're here live on Facebook. Hopefully you all have tuned in this past week and all the weeks to watch We Are the Joneses live on Centric TV. We have been getting tons of love from all of you out there. Thank you so much for continuing to tune in. But this, right now, today, is your opportunity to send in all of your questions for the good doctor or for me about anything that you may have seen on the show, anything about surgery or about life, love, who knows, whatever you want to ask. This is your opportunity. We're also going to give you a recap of last week's episodes and a preview of what's to come this Saturday night at 10 o'clock on Centric. I also have a special guest standing by, so get your questions ready. It's all coming up. As you know, We Are the Joneses centers around my hubby, Dr. Michael Jones, and I, and our bustling medical practice in New York City, Lexington Plastic Surgeons. Well, this past weekend, you got a chance to meet Staci. She's a patient from our Maryland office who was not happy with her eyes, but that didn't stop her from having eyes for my man.
I'm Staci Conley. I'm here to get an under eyelid. When I smile in the mirror, I see bags under my eyes. That makes me look a little older than I want to look.
Hello.
Hi, Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones had that look. He is good on the eye.
You know, it's a little disconcerting to have a patient flirt with you. We have to be very careful with Staci because she has high blood pressure. One of the risks of this surgery is blindness. And that is our worst nightmare. We're not going to be able to move forward with the surgery today.
Now, I know plastic surgery seems like all glitz and glamour from the outside, but the truth is it is still surgery, and at the end of the day, a patient's health is the only thing that really matters. Let's see if we can catch up with Dr. Jones. He's in his office today seeing, I think I saw like 33 patients on your schedule down there?
Yeah, it's a busy day here in the office, and thank everybody for tuning in, and we absolutely want you to tune in this weekend for We Are the Joneses on Centric at TM 9 Central. I know you're going to be there, but yes, I'm here in the office working hard right now, seeing over 30 patients.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of people that have been sending in questions. I got some before we came out, and I wanted to see if you had a second just to answer a couple of them. One viewer, Carol from Astoria, Queens, asked, Dr. Jones, please tell us about one of your craziest patient crush interactions. I think maybe we just saw it with Staci.
You definitely just saw one of them, but I tell you, they get pretty outrageous. And I think you know, Kathleen, there have been a few times where I have been in with a patient, I step out of the room, come back in the room, and that's why I always have to go in with a chaperone where they are just completely naked from head to toe, nothing on them, no gown, nothing, and they're just like, here I am, Dr. Jones, see me. And that's why I always have to go in the room with a chaperone.
Right. Now, in Staci's case, I know she wasn't very happy that you couldn't do her surgery, but the bottom line is her blood pressure was too high. Do you often have to tell patients that they can't go through with it?
Very often. It actually occurs more than you think. And despite us doing a significant amount of workup on the patients beforehand, and making sure that they have blood work and medical clearance, sometimes they still have disorders that may not be completely under control come the day of surgery. And at those times, that's when we sometimes have to deliver that bad news that, hey, this is, your asthma may not be under control, your high blood pressure may not be under control, your diabetes may not be under control, and we can't go forward with your surgery today. It's not to say that we can't in the future, but today we may have to just postpone things.
Right.
So that does happen.
I know. So here's another viewer, Ahmed from Chicago. Kathleen, you seem to handle Staci pretty well. Have you experienced any patient crushes? And if so, what was Dr. Jones's reaction? I don't think I've had any patient crushes. I may have some crushes, but not patient crushes. I mean, people that have crushes on me, not the other way around. But have you seen any of that? Have people come in trying to flirt with me in the office?
No, I actually, that's a good one. I haven't actually seen that. Maybe I have seen. I tell you, all of the patients will say how beautiful you are. All of them will
Aw.
say, "Wow, you have such a beautiful, gorgeous wife." But I haven't seen that actually. That one who wants to be my competition.
All right.
yet.
There's no competition ever. So I wanted to roll another clip from Staci because she really wasn't. I love Staci, by the way, but she just wasn't happy when he had to tell her about her blood pressure.
I'm a very confident woman. I'm that navigator, the regulator. Maybe I'm a role model. Maybe I'm a role model. But I knew that there were some issues I needed to address. I've been doing a good job hiding it, but at some point you gotta let it go and let it do what it do.
Your blood pressure is a little elevated. We're not going to be able to move forward with the surgery today.
If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. This is my time. Check me in about 6 months. I have a few other things I need to do. We're on.
Staci's so funny, and I have to add that you are going to see her later in the season. She is going to get her surgery after all. I think we have another question. My guys here in the studio are reading some questions coming on Facebook now.
Yeah, I have a question for Dr. Jones from Chantal from Brooklyn, who wants to know, you mentioned that there's a risk of blindness from high blood pressure in the lower left procedure. How exactly would that occur?
Could you hear that?
I could hear that, and that's a great question. What ends up happening is that bleeding that occurs is happening behind the eyeball, and it's pushing the eyeball forward. And at some point, with so much pressure on the eye, the blood flow into the eye stops, and the blood to the retina stops, and then you don't have oxygen to the retina, and then you get blindness. And so that's kind of how it occurs. There's just too much pressure. It's pushing the eyeball too far forward, and the oxygen just can't get to the eyeball.
All right, we're going to take one more question, then I know you have to get back to seeing patients. Was there another one coming across?
Yes, Cammie from Los Angeles asked, Dr. Jones, depending on skin color, is there a major difference in the bruising and healing process with blepharoplasty, meaning does fairer skin take longer to visually heal?
That's a great question. Obviously, the fairer you are, the more obvious the bruising is. But as a doctor who takes care of a lot of patients of color, we're always kind of trying to figure out what is the best approach to give the patient the look that they want with as scarless approach as possible. Because as people of color, we tend to scar a little more significantly. The scars tend to be darker, they tend to be thicker, they tend to be elevated. So in Staci's case, there are two ways that we can do a blepharoplasty, a lower lid blepharoplasty. One, by making an incision on the outside of the eye, and the other by making an incision on the inside of the eye. When you do it on the inside of the eye, there is no scar at all, and you get much less bruising, and you get much less distortion of the anatomy. And so you'll have to wait and see which approach we actually end up using on Staci. So that's more of a reason for you to what? You gotta tune in.
Yes.
Saturday night, 10 p.m. on Centric. You'll find out. And I think it happens, I think I saw a little promo for maybe
Yes.
this
Coming up this
weekend where you'll
week.
find
That's right.
out exactly which approach we use. Right. Are we doing an internal approach where she's going to have scarless, or are we doing an external approach where she'll have a little bit of a scar? So you have to wait and see.
Suspense, suspense. All right, well, you get back to work, and we're going to move on. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you later.
All right.
All right, so let's talk about the next episode, Joanna. Now, Joanna was bullied her whole life because of how she looked. We're going to see just how fabulous she looks now when she joins us live here in the studio in just a minute. But first, let's see why she was feeling so low to begin with.
Previously on We Are the Joneses.
My name is Joanna Kennedy, and I wanted to have my nose done since I was 21. When I look in the mirror, I see an ugly duckling.
If you have a nose of someone that you like, it might be helpful.
Dr. Jones, the picture is standing right in front of me, and I trusted you.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure on me.
So let's do this.
For me personally, it's going to give me a new look in life. There is a little darkness that I felt inside. I know that will be lit out.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's so perfect.
I am on top of the world, thanks to you.
God, doctors knows.
And I have Joanna here joining us live in the studio today. You look fabulous, first of all. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. Thank you so much. It's like I'm a different person, inside out.
Okay, good. So you had your nose done and your lips done. Why were you so unhappy to begin with?
Because all my life, going to junior high school, college, I've been bullied all my life about my puggy nose, bull nose, every name in the book about nose I was called. And my goddaughter, she was 10 and she came to visit on a Thanksgiving, and she said to me, everyone has straight nose except for you, look at your nose. And it's like, I said, that's it, I have to do something about it. And that's when I decide I'm going to see Dr. Jones and have it done, and that's what I did.
And you know, your story really broke my heart. We can see your before and after right now, just how, when you look at that picture, what do you see before and after?
It's like totally two different person, totally different.
And so you didn't like what you saw in the mirror when you looked before?
No, not at all, not at all.
Well, you look great now. And you know, your story really touched me because so many people get bullied. And, you know, it's, especially we see the young girls now, and I'm always trying to tell people, you know, find that beauty within. But for you, that wasn't as easy as that.
No, it was not. It wasn't, because now at least there's so many people now you can go and talk to. In my school days, there was not much you could do, but now, you know, a matter of fact, right after I have my nose done, my girlfriend saw me in the supermarket and she didn't even recognize me. She just walked past.
Really?
She walked past.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It was a good thing. It was a good thing. And at church, my family members, no one hardly recognized me, and it's like, I'm amazing. It's like a totally new person right now.
Well, we have some questions for you, but I want to show a video that we haven't seen yet on the show, never before seen video of how you felt before.
I didn't want to take pictures because I look at my nose in the pictures. I said, oh no. Taking pictures at family gathering was not for me. Even my husband has nice straight nose. My son is nice nose. I'm like the bobcat of the family with my nose. So my son probably looked at me and realized that there's a change, because he often, when he comes home, he likes to cuddle, and the first thing he does is start rubbing my nose, because I think he knows I have this little thing about my nose. I explained to my son that Mommy's going to have her nose done, so she probably looks different, and he said it was okay. It's okay, Mommy, as long as you're happy.
Wow, I mean, you know, and you actually cried. I was there when you got your reveal for the first time and they took the bandage off. What brought you to that amount of emotion?
It was like I'm looking at a totally different person, because even the day before the surgery, I was wondering, what am I going to look like? Is it going to be something I'm going to like, what I look like? And when she revealed and I saw myself, I could not believe it. It was like the dream. It was like a dream come true for me. And it's Dr. Jones wasn't sure what to do, and I told him, I said, you know what, whatever you do, just make me look beautiful, and I'm like a princess, more than beautiful.
I got some questions for you. One viewer, Tristan from DC, wanted to know, did your son notice the change? We saw your son in that video just now. Did he notice and accept the new you?
Yes, he did. Yes, he noticed right away. Matter of fact, when I got home, he said, Mommy, you look so beautiful. In the morning when he's going off for school, he just said, bye, Mommy. Every morning he's giving me a big hug. I'm his new mommy now because I'm beautiful. Oh, Mommy, you was beautiful before, but now you're amazingly beautiful.
Well, everyone on Facebook says you are Beautiful, gorgeous. They're lighting it up right now. There's another question. Tell us something that has changed that was not revealed in your episode. That's from Jacqueline from Atlanta.
I'm not sure.
Are you dating? Or are you married?
I'm married,
and
yes.
What does your husband think?
My husband, I normally go to the mall, my girlfriend and I. Every Saturday, my husband is with me in the mall.
He's your bodyguard now, right?
He's more than my bodyguard. He's outside the studio right now because he took the day off just to be around me.
Aww.
So it's
improved everything.
Everything is improved. Everything is improved. Our lifestyle, the way we live, where we go, our friends. Everything just. It's like the swan, you know. So right now, I feel like I wanted to tear up right now. So it's.
Yeah, I understand. Let's take another question. You guys had a couple questions, right?
Yes, Chanel Lambert is asking, what is the most surprising thing you found after surgery? The most surprising?
Love, more love, much more love.
For yourself?
For myself.
Which allowed others to love you?
Yes, for myself. I love myself more. I did love myself before, but it's much more love for me right now.
Right.
It does everything for me. It's about me, my son, and my husband.
Aww. And one more, maybe?
Yeah, we have a question here. Jennifer from Queens. Joanna, you have this new confidence about you. Has this surgery made you want to go after other life goals you've set for yourself?
Yes, I do. I want to venture into everything you can imagine. I want to be the stars that I was born to be. And thanks to Dr. Jones, he paved the way for me to do that.
Wow. Well, good luck. And I guess your life has changed. I was going to ask how it's changed and what was it like seeing yourself on TV?
Oh my God. I have 150 people almost want to come to my house to watch the show.
Nice. Tell them to set their DVRs when they come.
Yes. It's my neighbors, all my neighbors. You know, everyone was amazing. It was amazing.
Well, Joanna, thank you. Thanks for being a part of We Are the Joneses, and I'm so glad to see your transformation. The beauty exudes from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Well, finally, on this past week's episodes of We Are the Joneses, I actually opened up about something that's very personal to me, being adopted and wanting to find my birth family. It's something that I've gone through my whole life, never really talking about, and actually thinking that it really didn't matter. Yet, I have to be honest, like the minute I opened up about it and started talking about being adopted and being an orphan and being in foster care, it just came out how much it actually affected me, and I decided to go on a search for answers. I don't hide the fact that I was adopted. Several years ago, Michael and I decided to do a search for my birth family. I'd forgotten all about it, wasn't even thinking, it was the farthest thing from my mind until I got that letter. Dear Ms. Trigg-Jones, I'm writing with regards to your request for information concerning your adoption record. I've never seen a baby picture of myself. I knew that I couldn't handle that right then. I might actually meet the woman who brought me into this world. It's nothing like turning the camera on yourself, being the executive producer of a show like this and turning the camera on yourself. And it got really emotional, so you'll have to tune into the rest of the season to see where we go with my own adoption. But the truth is, I never knew how many people were actually affected by the same feelings surrounding being adopted. I mean, I've received an outpouring of love and support from so many of you through letters and words of encouragement, and I just want to say thank you. In fact, here are some of the questions right now from you viewing live. Let's see, one viewer, Marcus from Miami. Cathleen, as the executive producer of We Are the Joneses, what made you want to include your adoption storyline in the program? You know, it's funny, I had to really think long and hard about it because it's easy for me to turn the camera on other people. I've been a journalist my whole life, and I've always told other people's stories, but I don't often turn the camera on myself and talk about my own story. And this was probably the toughest thing, yet the most healing thing that I've ever done, which is to talk about this. And I thought it was important to share it because there's so many people out there who can relate and who are going through the same thing. And I felt like if my story might be able to help or inspire someone else along the way, then I wanted to make sure that I got it out there. So I think you guys are telling me there's other questions? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Edith from San Diego is asking, It's very brave of you and anyone looking to reconnect with their birth parents. Did you have any fears as to what information might be revealed to you about your parents?
Oh, yes, that's a great question. And of course, you know, when you're adopted, you go through your whole life wondering, and you kind of make your own story up. You know, it's kind of like if you ever saw the movie Annie or the Broadway show Annie, you know, she always dreamed that maybe somebody special was going to come and swoop her up and say, I'm your parents, you know, long lost parents. And the truth is that that doesn't happen very often. There's so many kids who are in foster care and that never find answers, but you'll have to tune into the rest of the season to see what answers I do get, because I do actually get some answers. Another question? Or oh, here's you have one? Okay.
Yeah, I got a question here. Chris from San Francisco wants to know what other projects you're working on, and will we get a sneak peek this season?
That's a good question. Thank you for asking. I'm actually doing a documentary, a full documentary on my search for my birth family, and that's something that I can't wait to finish and bring it to the world. It's going to be extremely deep. I can't let the cat out of the bag, unfortunately, but I can say that it's really, really an incredible journey that it's been, and it's I think you're going to really find it very fascinating. I also have a show called Chick Chat that I'm really excited about. In fact, we're launching the platform this week. I hope you'll check us out, chickchat.com. It's all about women and empowerment. That's why I like Joanna so much, in fact, because I'd love to just spend some time with her and talk about transforming how you feel about yourself on the inside, because it really all starts there. And Chick Chat is a talk show, it's a tour, it's a website, it's really a platform for women to come together and open up and talk about their feelings, stop hiding, just put it all out there so that we can all feel normal again. So that's a great question. And I think on that note, we're going to probably wrap up the questions. So we're going to definitely dive more into my adoption story and some of the other stories on this season of We Are the Joneses. So make sure you tune in every week. Again, my story is only one of thousands, and I consider myself very lucky because I was adopted by an amazing family. I call them my angels, my mom, my dad, my brother. You can see them on the screen. But many children never get adopted and never get a chance to feel what it's like to finally be in a family with people who love and care about them. And this is actually National Foster Care Awareness Month. So this is why I started my not-for-profit. It's called Trigg House. It's to help kids who age out of the system at 18 and never have anyone to love them or care about them. You can get more information about that by visiting my website, trigghouse.com. That is going to do it for us today, though. Before we go, I want to give you a sneak peek at what's ahead on this Saturday night's episodes on Centric TV. Next time on We Are the Joneses. Damn! We need to call our instructor. I got a letter from the adoption agency. Do I just say, okay, great, I finally know, or do I? No, you got to go further.
Every time I have a surgery, they would always come back bigger.
You're not alone. You know, that's the first thing that you need to know. There are others out there that are just like you, and they're looking for help. It's been over a month since the last time we were in DC. We're looking forward to seeing a lot of progress with the construction. The construction had stopped. They have stopped.
They've stopped.
Again?
Again. I came here to get a procedure done, and it didn't happen, but I'm okay because I am back and ready to go.
You're awake under there?
That used to be a stripper, and I can't drop it like it's hot.
You are dropping.
I told you she'd be back. Staci's coming back. Thank you all again for joining us for this episode of Where Are They Now? Please make sure you tune in this Saturday at 10 o'clock p.m. for new back-to-back episodes of We Are the Joneses. Log on to our website for more information and a channel guide at wearethejoneses.tv. And please help us spread the word using the hashtag #TheJonesesTV. And we'll see you here live again next week. Now go out there and make your mark on the universe.